My name is Pam, and I am doing the 75 hard for the second time this year.
And here's an overview of the 75 hard rules.
So I was able to post a couple of videos on my first go around, just kind of giving some background as to why I decided to start 75 hard at the beginning of the year, and just some things that I was going through. Unfortunately, I didn't finish all of those videos. It just became a little too much to do TikTok every day and YouTube, and trying to find a place to film inside my house has been incredibly difficult, which is why I am in the backyard right now. This time around, I'm going to do my best to film more frequently and post some more long form videos like I originally intended to do. So just a quick recap, why did I start the 75 hard at the beginning of the year? So I started January 1st and I finished by March 17th. And originally what happened is I had some family drama happening with my sister, and there was some, relapse with some drug use. And it was very difficult to see, and it was very difficult to handle. It was just hard. It's not easy for anybody in the family when you have addiction. Honestly, addiction is just hard on everybody. So that was kind of a part of the reason why I wanted to start the 75 hard in the first place. I was spiraling into a depression because I kind of felt like I couldn't do anything. Because you can't do anything in that situation, and I felt powerless. And so it was kind of the 75 hard as a way to help keep me grounded and to help keep me focused on something and doing something, because the idea in my brain was, I can't necessarily make my sister do anything or make her change, but I can control my own actions and I can control my own life and try to be a positive example. And so I just used 75 hard as my structure to just make changes in my own life that I felt also needed to be changed. And that is what I did. And then along the way, it really, really it helped. It really did. It helped keep me sane. It helped keep me focused, and it helped keep me consistent. And so it was honestly a very positive experience for me. Even though I didn't even lose 10 pounds the first time around. But what I did was prove to myself that I could be consistent, and that I can essentially stick to something that I said I would do. And then from March until now, well, we're in May, we just had a lot of busy things going on in life. We're in the college tour season with my husband's daughter.
Our architecture students flow their ideas more creatively as they were working on their own final projects and things like that. I know, instead of referring to this area as Bower Worcester.
And so we've just had a lot of things going on, and we're kind of starting to slow down a little bit in some areas, or at least getting some kind of normalcy that we haven't kind of had too much of. And so right now felt like the right time to jump on to another 75 hard challenge. And the reason why I wanted to jump on it now is to push myself harder than the first time. So again, the first time I was using it for the mental toughness, I was using it for consistency, I was using it for habits. And now this time around, I want to use it for actual fitness more than anything else, since I've already proved to myself that I can stick to it and that I am capable of doing it. Here I am now, just trying to stick to harder rules, have a more regimented lifestyle, and like I said, just push myself even further than what I did the first time. So what does that actually mean, to push myself harder? What does that actually look like? So I want to do like maybe like a comparison of what I had for my rules for my first 75 hard and then rules that I'm having for this time. The first set of rules that I had was just to be in a calorie deficit. I just wanted to eat less than what I had been eating, and so I had definitely been eating probably, oh gosh, way too much. We'll just say that. So my goal was to stick around 1500 calories a day. And so that meant any food, anything, as long as it stayed under 1500 calories. So this time around, though, I am sticking to 80% Mediterranean diet.
The Mediterranean diet, also known as the world's healthiest diet, is eating mostly fruits, vegetables, whole grains, beans, lentils, legumes, nuts, seeds, and using olive oil as the main fat. I can still enjoy a lot of fish and seafood, eggs, Greek yogurt, some cheese, mostly feta or parmesan, and lots of fresh herbs and spices. I'm going to be limiting the red meat, added sugar, or highly processed foods and refined grains, as well as fried foods. The basic plate structure for the Mediterranean diet is half of the plate being fruits or vegetables, a quarter of the plate being your protein, a quarter of the plate being your whole grain, and then adding the nuts and seeds sparingly. And of course, using olive oil as your main source of fat. But here are some examples of meals that I've made. That's a veggie wrap, and this is a spinach feta cheese egg white omelet with some Greek yogurt on the side. And then some salmon. You can see the portion sizes of everything.
For 2 days out of the week, I can be a little bit more loose with cuisine and the style of eating, but also I'm trying to still stick to some pretty decent and common rules of the half the plate being vegetables, a quarter of the plate being grain or carbs, and a quarter being protein. Adding more fruits into my diet because I don't really eat a lot of fruit. It's just not my go-to. More of a savory, spicy, salty girl. But yeah, so going to add some more just balance into the diet and a lot more vegetables. I'm even going to attempt to eat a lot more like vegetarian stuff, at least a couple of meals as well. So that is going to definitely be a challenge. I am going to be limiting as much like processed food as I possibly can. So like maybe one Diet Coke a week, which is going to be kind of difficult. Sticking to my gallon of water, which anybody that's done the 75 hard challenge, you'll know that this is definitely one of the hardest parts of it. And yeah. So I'm going to stick to mostly water, tea, black coffee. That's pretty much all I drink. And yeah. For my first 75 hard, and that's part of the rules, right, is 2 45-minute workouts a day, and one of them has to be outside. I pretty much just walk for my outside workout on my first 75 hard, and that was just to do something because I hadn't really been working out for many months prior to the first 75 hard. So this 75 hard, I am making it a priority that the outside workout is going to be strength training in my garage. You have like a plan for each day of what I'm going to focus on, so I have a much more detailed vision as to what I'm focusing on each day and what exercises I need to do. And then for my second 45-minute workout, it might be related to it, or, like I've been trying to work on push-ups, walking on my walking pad since I do work from home. So walking can still definitely be included. And then, so pretty much the other 45-minute workout is going to be a variety of just about anything, as long as the one 45-minute workout outside is dedicated to strength training and follows the plan that I have set up. My books that I have this time, I didn't have a problem reading before. Love reading. And so I finished a couple of really great books that I wanted to finish. I had bought a whole bunch at the beginning of the year. And so right now I'm currently reading The Magic of Thinking Big. And I personally just like books like this that kind of get you into the mindset of, thinking beyond your lifestyle, thinking beyond your circumstances. And I do believe that there is so much power in a sense of just believing in yourself. And so this is a really great book to be starting off for the 75 hard round. And then I'm also going to be pairing that with a marriage devotional that my husband is doing, so that's going to count for some of my reading as well.
Progress photos at this point are pretty much a no-brainer. I get dressed in the morning and then I just jump straight into the progress photos so I don't forget to do it later on in the day, and then that way it's also kind of capturing what I look like right when I wake up.
My starting weight on my first 75 hard was 171, and I got down to about 163. Since I've been off of the 75 hard, I am now 168, and that has been from a lot of traveling because we were doing a lot of traveling. So trying to have some kind of balanced lifestyle while you're traveling and balanced food and meals and stuff is just hard in itself. But 5 pounds, I don't think that was too drastic. I mean, we fluctuate in weight all the time, so I'm not like beating myself up over it or anything, but that's essentially where we're starting from, is 168 pounds. I do not have a goal weight. I personally think that that could be a little problematic for myself, because honestly I could be 150 and look great with a lot of muscle. I've never really had that in my life before. I've always been kind of like a string bean. I was very skinny growing up, just naturally one of those skinny kids, and I could eat as much as I possibly wanted to in junk food, and it did not matter. I would just wouldn't gain weight until I got into my late teens, early 20s, and I did gain a significant amount of weight, and it was really difficult. It was kind of part of the situation that I was in that life that contributed to that weight gain. But either way, I got out of the bad situation that I was in, and I did better. And I ended up going vegan for a while, and I lost all of the weight that I had gained. And so throughout the majority of my 20s, I was probably about 120 pounds. Maybe I even got down to 110. So that's the other thing, is I've seen the other side of the coin too, where I got so sickly skinny. It just wasn't healthy. And it was really just because I wasn't eating. I was not eating. It was a very bad place that I ended up in later on too. And so I have just never had like a healthy body, I guess you could say, like a healthy routine and a healthy like workout schedule or any of that stuff, or a consistent healthy diet. So this is me just trying to build a healthy lifestyle from the inside out, and that is what essentially my entire channel is about, is healthy lifestyle and just my journey in trying to find what that means, what it looks like, and how to do it. And so I know I'm going to make mistakes along the way, but that's really just where I want to be. So no goal weight. We're just going to see what my body naturally does and kind of go from there, and then see what we want to do at the end of the 75 hard. This is also just like a little mini birthday present to myself, because my birthday is at the beginning of August. And so by the time I'm done with this, it'll be the first week of August. And so I'll get to kind of celebrate for my birthday, having completed another go around. yeah, so this is my 75 hard journey. I post little videos every day, just kind of an update as to, hey, here's the progress I'm making. Just kind of keeping myself accountable for finishing everything. To me, it just kind of helps me, I don't know, stay locked in, I guess, because I feel like the whole 20 people that follow me are counting on me to stay committed, even if they don't see it or care, so it just helps me to stay committed. And I don't know, maybe somebody someday will come across this and maybe it will help you. So if you have any questions that I can answer, please let me know in the comments. And if you are interested in building a healthy lifestyle or watching me build my healthy lifestyle or watching me complete the 75 hard, you can follow me. And yeah, we could be friends. So thank you for watching.